Hello, this is Calvin, and today I'm going to be reviewing the SO4CG laser level from Hupar. Today we're going to do a review on the Hupar SO4CG laser leveler, and it comes in with a really nice case. And let's open the case, and you see that inside it's got all nice cutouts to hold every piece in place to protect it very well. It comes with a little instruction booklet in multiple languages. Here's the actual laser leveler itself, and we'll get into its operation here in a moment. But let's see what other goodies come with it. There's a little remote control, which I can open up here. And you can see it allows you to use it while you're, say, across the room or whatever, making your changes, turning it off and on and so forth. It's got a battery pack, so you can recharge it. A little USB cord for charging, along with the USB plug for plugging it in and charging it up. So you can actually use it with either the battery or with the USB plugged into it. So you can use it if you're going to be using it for a long time, don't want to run down the batteries. Or if you're in a remote site, it's also got this little battery pack holder for these 4 AA batteries. And you can use those in an emergency. I probably won't be using them. And then it's got this little, a little tray or table here, which you can set the laser leveler on. And it allows you to raise it or lower it, which seems like a really good idea. However, one thing I don't like about it is that the tolerances are not very tight on it. So you can see it just kind of wobbles back and forth. So I'm not sure that I'm going to have much use out of that, especially if I'm in an area where it might get bumped. Now what I did do is I did add a couple of springs to it to help, that's showing up there, to help with the stabilization a little bit, but it really, as you can see, it's not helping a whole lot. So, not sure if I'll use this at all. Now, what I will use, though, is this little device here, which allows you to either like hang it up on a wall. It's got a little hook there you can hook it on, but more than likely you would be installing this metal plate on the wall because it's got a couple of good strong magnets in the back, which allow it to hold onto the wall very firmly. It's got multiple adjustments on it. It's got like 4 different adjustments for angling up and down. You just screw this in or out to raise or lower it. It's got this other adjustment side forward and aft, and you can move that either way. It's got another adjustment which allows you to go left to right, and then one that rotates it clockwise or counterclockwise. So that's really good. There's a little bubble spirit level on the top there to set your initial settings on it. So that's really, really nice. The way it hooks up is it slips over the top, or actually you could do it on the side ones, any one of these, and it holds it in place. Fairly good. Okay, so we'll set that aside, and now let's take a look at the actual laser leveler. But first we got to put the battery in it. So on the underside there's a little battery compartment, and you just take the battery, slip it in, and then now the other parts of this or features of it would be the switch for the on-off switch, and this is also a lock, so you want to make sure this is always locked when you're moving it around, because this is a self-leveling laser leveler, and it does have a pendulum in it, which is actually a moving part, so that when you turn it on, you can see as I'm moving it around, it's wiggling a bit because it's on that pendulum and it's causing it to self-center. Now it can be locked in place. For example, if you want to lock it in place, and then let's say you're doing like a stair railing and you have an angle, and you can set it at the angle that you want, and it'll hold it at that angle. Okay, now, however, when it's in the locked mode, not self-leveling, it does flash to let you know that it is not self-leveling, just in case you've got it like this and you're doing some work and it gets bumped, and then all of a sudden you find out that you're no longer level. So let's talk about some of the features on it. Okay, hopefully that's showing up okay. Okay, so when I turn it on, you'll see that there's now it's beeping, and the reason it's beeping is because it's at more than a 3.5 degree angle. So you got it from level, and so if it's more than 3.5 degrees in either the X or Y positions, it will beep. So let me go ahead and lock it and show you how you can turn it on while in the lock position. You just push and hold down on that button there, and it locks it in position. And then I can show you some of the features on it. There's an XY, which tells you Y is this direction, X is this direction. It tells you how many degrees it is, whether it's plus or minus as you move it up and down, the X direction or the Y direction. And it also shows you that it's locked. Because it's locked, it's flashing, and then it's got the battery indicator in there telling you how much battery power is left. Also, it has a pulse feature on there, and we'll get to that in a moment when we talk about the receiver, the optional receiver that you can get with it, that you would have it on the pulse mode, and I believe it pulses at about 10,000 hertz. Okay, so let me turn that off. To turn it off, you just push and hold it, and that turns it off. Now let's go back into the self-leveling mode, where I turn it on there, and it's self-leveling. And let's take a look at some of the lines on here. You can see that it's casting vertical, both in the forward direction and then 90 degrees to that, another vertical line. And then it's also got two horizontal lines, one from the laser up here, and then one from the laser at the bottom. So you've got two lines being projected. And also, it does project a line down to the floor and up to the ceiling that is going to be perfectly plumb, which makes it really easy for installing features onto a ceiling instead of trying to measure it from on the ceiling. Now, you can turn off these other laser lines. And so you've got the H for the horizontal, the V for the vertical. And so if I want to shut off the vertical one, I just press that. Now you can see that one of the verticals is off. Now I press it another time and one is off. I press it another time, now they're both off. And then for the horizontal, I can either have the upper one, the lower one, or nothing. Now everything's off. Okay, so I just turn them all back. Easier just to turn it off and turn it back on again. Okay, now you can see all of the lines are there. So one other feature that comes with this is this little target. And this is nice for, especially if you're in an area where there's a lot of light and you need to get a clear picture of the target, or just posting your target on opposite wall. Let me kind of demonstrate to you how this works. Let me turn off So here you can see without the target, and it's still a pretty strong light, but if it got a little bit brighter in the room, you can see if you compare the two together that the target, of course, it helps you can put this anywhere on the wall or wherever you're trying to measure to on your target, and it does make it a little bit brighter. But then also it's got a little magnet on the end to where you can put on a plate, mount it to the wall, whatever, or you can just, it's got a little foot on there, you can just stand it upright, like that sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, that's another nice little feature that they added to there. Again, does make it a little bit brighter when it's hard to see, in addition to also being the target that you're shooting for. So overall, what do I think about this? Well, first off, I'm not represented by Hupar. I purchased this item myself, so this is a very independent review. I'm not holding anything back. I will say that I am impressed with the build quality. It appears to be extremely durable. Also appears to be very accurate. I did do some preliminary checking on it, and the lasers do seem to be aligned very well. I understand that if the lasers do get out of alignment, there is a feature where you can remove the screws, and there's some adjustments internally, which is nice to have in case it does get out of alignment. Like I said, I'm very much impressed with it. All the features on it, it's got everything I need, probably more than I will use. I do like the little display panel on the back, the ability to also use it for both self-leveling feature on it, and then also to set at any angle I want. Plus, it also reads to me what those angles are as I'm moving it around. So I really like that feature about it. I like the fact that it comes with a really nice, strong, durable case. All the extra components that come with it, and especially this device. This is fantastic. This is very well made, very durable, and I think it will hold up to a lot of use. I won't say abuse, because you should never abuse a delicate instrument like this. But yeah, this is certainly hold up in a work site. Things that I don't like, well, this thing here, I know others have raved about it, but again, with that flexiness, I'm just not really impressed with it. Now, I will say something about the Hupar customer service. I did have some issues on the delivery. There were some cosmetic issues on it that I contacted them about. What really impressed me is that within hours, they were back to me. John from their customer service, I believe they're out of the U.S., contacted me directly, and we worked through some issues there. And I tell you, it was just he was just great. We've talked several times by email. One of the other things too, why I order directly from the Hupar website, is that they do indicate on the website that they do not warranty their products to third party. Not sure if that included Amazon or not. I contacted Amazon twice about it. Never got a response from the Amazon seller. I don't know if it's the same company or a different seller, but never got a response on that. So I bought directly from the Hupar site. Got it the same price as Amazon. This was, I think, normally $256, I want to say. 15% off coupon, which I used, discount code. And so basically I paid for this, tax, shipping, everything. There was no zero shipping. $212. $212. I mean, you just can't beat it. There's nobody out there that can touch that and still deliver the same kind of quality that you would see typically in like a Milwaukee or a Bosch or DeWalt. You're going to get it in this. I highly recommend it, and I'm very glad I got it.